Bonjour et bienvenue à Québec. Aujourd'hui, nous explorons le fleuve Saint-Laurent et la ville de Québec. What? Oh, sorry. Had the mic set to French. Hi, and welcome to Quebec City. Today we're going to be exploring the St. Lawrence River and the beautiful and historic city of Quebec that you can see behind me. And actually, just in front of it, you can see this beautiful and historic blue and white Bertram. That's what we're going to be exploring it on. And if this looks familiar to you, it's because it was on the show a couple seasons ago when we were exploring Redore Lake. And it's here because the owners of this boat are now the owners of Neptune Marine, based right here in the Marina. So we're gonna head into the store, find them, and find out where we're going today. Patrick.
Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. So, beautiful day.
Beautiful day, yes.
Yeah, thanks for arranging that, first of all. Nailed it.
Yeah, great.
So where are we going? How far are you thinking?
We'll start from the old port of Quebec Marina, and we'll go up the river to Marina of Lévis. We'll go towards the Quebec Bridge, and we'll do the Rivière Chaudière, and we'll turn around under the bridge and stop by the
Yacht Club.
Yep, Yacht Club, and then we'll keep going, and then we'll see the old Quebec City.
This is the beauty shot, right? This is what you only see on postcards or from boats right here.
Exactly, right from the water, you can definitely see stuff that you don't see from land, and at night it's beautiful too. Hopefully we can arrange a little night cruise and check it out at night.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Pont de Quebec, that's the historic one, right? Like
Yeah.
100 and something years.
Right.
Hey, Jose.
How are you?
Patrick and his fiancée Jose only just moved to Quebec a few months before and have spent almost every waking hour renovating and updating the store. No, they didn't pay me to say that, but this is pretty sweet. I was impressed, and I've been to a lot of marine supply stores. Still, in the height of summer, they were our gracious and willing hosts.
So you guys have been working nonstop.
Yeah.
Are you able to take a day off? It's like forced vacation. So we're not in the way. We're helping out here.
Helping, taking a little bit of time off and enjoying the beautiful day, yeah.
Perfect.
We're going with you guys for sure.
Nice. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's head out.
With the sun beating down on a perfect July day, we left the marina and cruised past the gigantic blue tugboats that are based here. To get the running shots of the boat, Patrick and Jose talked to some marina friends and arranged a camera boat for us, this 40-foot Sea Ray. It's hard to say which would be more popular, a newer Sea Ray with a modern design, or the refitted Bertram with the older layout but that classic look. Either way, it's cool to be a part of such a sweet flotilla. Onward, Quebec Navy! And out into the St. Lawrence River to find a cruise ship making its home for the day in the shadows of the old city. A cool feature about boating here is every time you leave the marina, you get the ultimate view, the iconic image of the Chateau Frontenac.
Have you ever been this far down the river?
We came in last week, went
As
straight
far
in
as
the
the
marina,
marina?
and I haven't been here yet, so it's all new.
As we followed the river southwest, I discovered our TV shoot really was helpful in forcing them to get out of the store and explore. The run we did was short, but there's so much to see here, and a fascinating history from the Citadel and Old City right up to these bridges.
So just in front of us, we're coming up to two sets of bridges. The one closest to us, the big steel bridge, that's the Pont de Quebec, or Quebec Bridge. Now, it has a tragic place in history because as they were building it, it collapsed twice, killing 88 people. And it took 30 years to finally get it done, and it opened in 1919. Now, it remains a little bit controversial to this day, not as tragically though. For about 25 years, there's been a debate over whether or not it should be painted and who's gonna pay for it. And as we'll see, it has not been painted. When you go under the bridges and it's the most narrow, you know, that current and the tides really fight the boats a little bit. But it's not too bad, and it's starting to open up here. And actually, if we were to continue down the St. Lawrence in this direction, in about 120 nautical miles, be in Montreal. Which is a really fun place, but so is Quebec City. So let's go back there. Yeah, this is definitely that view that most people only take home on a postcard, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see it. So it looks so big from here, just like boom, right there. Eric, ça l'écoute? Ça l'écoute.
You don't even need to see the size of the boats that come in, just look at the size of the tugs.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, every marina is beautiful because they're full of boats, and what's more beautiful than that? But this one, right here in the heart of Quebec City, may be the single most beautiful backdrop I have ever seen at any marina.
The marina here in the Port of Quebec is owned and operated by the Quebec Port Authority. We have a total of 415 slips overall to accommodate yachts from 20 feet to mega yachts up to 200 feet long. We do have a little over 350 members that are seasonal at the marina, but we have over 1,000 transient boaters every year.
Two unique things I find about your marina. One is the view.
Right?
This is like a postcard. And two is the lock. So why is there a lock to get in here?
The marina was built in an inner basin called the Louise Basin. So you have to go through the lock to get inside. I don't know if you know that in Quebec there's a tide that goes 46 meters every day. If there was no lock at the low tide,
Right.
there would be no water from the building here up to the end of the
really?
basin. Yeah.
Because this lock is to circumvent the tide, the amount of time it takes depends on where the tide is and how big the lift is. At slack tide, you can sail right through, which we were lucky enough to catch a couple times. The history extends beyond the old city to the waterfront, and not only because of the location of the citadel, the old fort, that was built atop high cliffs along the river. No, the recreational boating world has a rich heritage here as well. The Quebec Yacht Club dates back to 1861 and the first official regatta in the Port of Quebec. The next year, the actual yacht club was formed, electing officers and selecting the name, the Yacht Club de Québec. Directly across the river is the city of Lévis. There's a ferry service that links them, along with those bridges we crossed under earlier, and that's just one of the types of traffic you'll encounter around these parts.
Like you got everything here.
Over 100 cruise ship comes in the season.
100?
Here. Over 100. I think it's 120 or so.
Wow.
You've got everything coming in here to St. Lawrence, going to Ontario, or keep going to Montreal. The Coast Guard base is just over here.
But you name it, you'll see it here.
You'll see it.
And one of the absolute best, most stunning ways to see it is to go on a night cruise. So we waited until the sun went down and the lights went out to head out once more. As beautiful as the city is during the day, to me, it's even more majestic, all lit up at night. Québec, vous êtes magnifique.
Welcome back to beautiful Quebec City. Now it's just as great as we left it, but we're leaving it again. Last week we headed upriver where it narrowed down a little ways and explored some of the urban boating. This week we're gonna go the opposite way, à gauche, when we leave the lock and head downriver where it opens up and check out some of the popular anchorages. It's a little cloudy right now, but it's supposed to clear up, so hopefully they'll be pretty busy. And if they are, maybe we'll raft up. But first, we gotta catch this lock.
For those who did not catch the show last week, we are in the Port of Quebec, inside the Louise Basin. And because the St. Lawrence River has a tide which varies from 4 to 6 meters every day, the Port of Quebec has built the lock inside Louise Basin to control the water level for boaters. As we got back onto the St. Lawrence and headed eastward and away from the city, the clouds burned off just as predicted. 3 nautical miles, or 5 kilometers from the Marina, is a massive island that splits the river before it really opens up.
Want to drive the boat?
Yeah.
All right.
The island that's Île d'Orléans.
Île d'Orléans. It was one of the first settlement of Nouvelle-France, and it was discovered by Jacques Cartier in 1535, and he named it Île de Bacchus because of all the
Bacchus?
winery. Yeah.
Oh, so there's wineries on there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And there is a lot of strawberries and apple and cheese factory, chocolate factory.
It's also considered the cradle of French civilization in North America, and to some, as Quebec's garden, with all that active agriculture in the middle. But the shoreline is recreation and relaxation, and popular with boats of all sizes. About 5.5 miles or 10 kilometers along the southern shore, we found the Marina, Club Nautique de l'Île Bacchus. Founded in 1984, there are 130 slips that can accommodate boats up to 50 feet long. And the ramp was getting a lot of action today thanks to the warm July sun now beating down on us. Since we have the showroom lighting, this is the perfect time to take a closer look at the beauty of a boat we've been exploring on. This 1965 Bertram is a 38-foot-long sport fish, but it's been totally upgraded from engines to electronics, so it's a classic design, but with modern comforts. There is a fair bit that's true to the original, mind you, including the fighting chairs in the aft cockpit, which are used for lounging more than anything these days. And the exterior hasn't been changed other than the custom paint job. But in my eyes, they've chosen classic colors. Inside, the staterooms and head are pretty close to what you would have found originally, though the notable change of swapping the master's stateroom from bunks flanking a toilet to a queen bed strikes me as just about as necessary an upgrade as you'll ever find. The main salon and galley has been changed around a fair bit. Originally, the door was on the center line, but it's been moved to port slightly, and the L-shaped couch added. It opens it up, but doesn't blow up the flow and layout to feel forced. Actually, had Patrick not told me, I wouldn't have guessed this had been changed. It works that well. Up on the bridge, however, it's immediately evident that this has been retrofitted with all the latest and greatest. Everything from digital throttles to the chart plotter to the joystick piloting means this old beauty handles like new. A lot of cruiser owners don't like running on plane because their boat is older and they don't want to stress the engine, or the old power plants are just too inefficient. Neither is a problem here, with the original Cummins switched out for twin 480 horsepower Volvo TAMD 74s. We regularly got up on step and covered a lot of water, running around 23 to 25 knots on cruise, and very smoothly, I might add. This can hit a top speed of 30 knots, which is about 35 miles per hour. It has autopilot, and if you're going to use the function on something as busy as the St. Lawrence River, you're going to have to make adjustments to your course from time to time. But it's not the pain in the neck it used to be.
Well, this one here has got the shadow drive, and you can take control of the wheel. If you get the wheel and go left or right, it'll go left or right in the back. Before the older model, you had to go stand by and then take control.
Right.
This one here with the shadow drive, you can take control right away. Just try it. So you take it over and then let go. We'll come back right on the track.
The modern changes on a classic boat, peppered with nostalgia, having been in the family for years, makes it almost impossible to put a price on. Patrick made it very clear it was not for sale. While I remained at the helm, as soon as we slowed down, I learned firsthand about the other boating challenge around these parts.
Feels like we're still turning.
It's just the current.
Oh.
Yeah, once you get a little more speed, it'll stay straighter.
It can get ripping along pretty good here, since this is where it starts to narrow down. And when we were out, it was about 4 knots. Not bad when you're running with it, but that burns a bunch of extra fuel if you're headed into it for hours. Luckily, you don't have to go far to see a lot if Quebec City is your base. And as I've said already, history colors just about everything here, from the boating, to the city, to even the industry. This massive complex right here is the Davie Shipyard, Canada's largest and one of the biggest anywhere on the continent. Davie Shipbuilding dates back to 1825, when it was founded by English Captain Allison Davie, and has made ships for the Canadian Navy for World Wars I and II, freighters for Canada Steamship Lines, offshore drilling rigs, and just about everything in between. Rounding the western tip of Ile d'Orléans and coming around to the northern side, I spotted a patch of white in the distance. As we cruised under the only bridge to the island, it was about as close as we could get.
Is that...
That's the chute Montmorency. Yeah, right here to your left. Yeah, it's worthwhile checking it a little closer.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's great. You just can't get there with the boat because it's pretty shallow, but go with a smaller boat and it's quite an experience. It's great.
Yeah, and you were looking up, you said it's taller than Niagara
Yeah,
Falls?
33 meters higher than Niagara Falls. And there is a zip line over there, and you can climb on ice in the winter. It's really interesting.
Cool. There's no way to boat up there because it's shallow.
It's shallow, but if you have a small boat, I guess you can get closer. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You can do a Zodiac tour.
Ooh, we should do that.
But first, I'll relinquish control so Patrick can show us one more local hotspot.
So we're heading back to the marina, but you're saying we're gonna have a very important detour first.
Yeah, we're going to stop at Baie de Beauport, which is just before the marina, and that's where most people hang out for the afternoon on a sunny day. There's a beach there. People raft up together, and they go swimming and have fun for the day. So it sounds like that's where we should be going.
Sounds right to me.
By the time we arrived, the wind had kicked up, so it wasn't as calm as it usually is, but it's still a beautiful spot. It's nice to have something just a couple miles from the marina and city that feels like a summer retreat. No time to swim for us, though. We gotta get back to the marina in time for the Latin party, and hopefully, this will keep us warm for the splash-filled fun of the Zodiac tour later in the show.
So today we're with Excursion Maritime Quebec to get up close and personal with Chute Montmorency.
Back in Quebec City, if you don't have a boat, you probably think water-based exploration is limited to the giant, slow-moving cruise boats. Mais non, mon ami. I made some calls to find the most fun, best boat-loving trip around. And despite the language barrier, when I said fun, people knew exactly what I needed, and they sent me here to Excursion Maritime Quebec. More simply, EMQ. Based right on the other side of the lock from the marina.
Take care with your shoes, okay, mister? All the seat is a balloon, okay?
Just en arrière, en avant.
I think Steven here, and you here, or you here.
Well, the princess seat goes there, so.
Yes.
And do the
I
wave.
think it's the best.
And unlike the warm sun we experienced out on the river yesterday, today we'll be dealing with overcast skies, cool air, but still, I'm pretty pumped for this. Denied my princess seat and due royal deference, we head out past the big blue tugs again. Only this time, we're riding low to the water. A lot of fun for sure, and on a cold and rainy morning, you don't need coffee to be jolted awake. First stop was a flyby of the commercial port. For me, getting up close and personal with big freighters is always a thrill. And cruising past the beach, it's a very different look than it was yesterday, that's for sure.
So today we're with Excursion Maritime Quebec. They've been in business since 2006. As you can see, offering Zodiac tours. There's a couple of ones that they have around Ile d'Orléans, other way on the river. But we're on one to get up close and personal with Chute Montmorency. A little bit different boat than Patrick's cruise the other day, but fun in its own way. And we've lucked out. The rain has passed us.
You can get here by land, sure. There's a great trail and steps to get up close to the falls, which are more than 50% higher than Niagara Falls and truly impressive. But in my eyes, as great as this is to walk up to, it's much more fun to see by water. And of course, like everything here, you can't go 50 feet without tripping over history.
On the right of the fall, that was the strategic place for the Britons. The Royal Britannic Army in 1759.
On the way back, we wanted even more fun in our ride, so I called an audible.
This little red Zeppelin here is also for tours, right?
Yes.
Can we ever ride on that one?
Yes.
We're switching from SUV to...
On va faire une
Honda
petite ride
Civic.
avec le bateau.
You gotta
Juste,
come Yeah.
parfait. This is the smallest excursion boat on north of Mexico. 14 feet. It's so fast. It's a two-stroke motor. It's very fun either.
Yeah.
Okay? You want your ride?
Yeah.
Don't worry about the splash.
See ya.
From historical city to stunning skyline to a mix of every type of boating imaginable, Quebec City was a pleasant surprise for me, having never been on the water here before. But it's definitely on my bucket list to return. This place is just too much fun. Merci beaucoup, Quebec.